What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 video. Today's video is going to be a bit different. Before we get into this, as you guys can see from the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to let you guys know what my favorite weapon is in each class. So before we get into the video, just keep in mind, this is an opinion-based video. Everyone has their own weapon. I am not saying whichever weapon I choose is the best. That is by no means a thing, because this is an RPG. It all depends on your play style, what build you're using, how good your aim is. You know, some people might use a weaker gun, but it has better accuracy and they will kill you at longer ranges. So keep that in mind when I'm going through these. This is just what I prefer to use from my experience. If you guys like my content, if you like the way I play or the guns you want to kind of get the best opinion from someone who really plays the game and tests it a lot, you're in the right place. This is just how I feel, and I generally have success using these guns. So let's get into this video. First of all, we're going to go over assault rifles, as it's probably the best. I'm going to base this off any build in the game. It doesn't matter. This is going to be more for a PvP side, because PvE is, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. PvP, if you're a hardcore PvP player, you know that choosing the right gun is vital. So I'm going to go for more of a PvP element, even though in PvE it does transfer over. It just depends. So I'm just going to go through that. I don't want to make two separate videos for this, so just keep that in mind, because I'm guessing you guys want to know the strongest weapons to use in each class, even though it's situational and it depends on your playstyle. This is going to be more based on PvP findings. So the best gun that, even in PvE, I use all of these guns in PvE as well. So you can actually transfer them over from PvE to PvE. So let's say that you use the FAMAS in PvP, but you want to use the Eagle Bearer in PvE. That's all just depends on you and your build and your playstyle. But I'm going to show you guys what I use, because I generally use the same gun I use in PvP in PvE. So these are transferable options that I'm going to give you guys. So you can actually base it off a PvE. If you're only a PvE player, that's fine. Use this because it works in PvE. Only a PvP, it works, go for it. So we're not going to go too much over the talents. I'm just going to give you hints on the talents and a little bit more, because I like to explain things. I don't want to just be bland and give you guys a boring little video there. So the FAMAS, in my eyes, is the best PvP weapon. This could be a thing that it is the meta assault rifle right now. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to give you guys a hint, because I think it might be. But this is what I use. And if you're using any kind of clutch or berserk build, you have to use strained. Strained is unbelievably strong, and this is through lots of testing in the dark zone with other players, very good players. So make sure to put strained if you're using a berserk build. I like the FAMAS. The reason why I like it is because of the high RPM, especially paired with the Allegro. But actually, extra is probably better than Allegro on this gun. But anyways, we're not going to talk about too much about talents. I like the RPM. The damage is high as well, so it's a nice balance. The Eagle Bearer is pretty close. The base damage is high. That gun is more for if you want to play at longer ranges. So what I normally do is I have the Eagle Bearer holstered for the 10% armor, and it's nice at longer ranges. The FAMAS is more of a close range gun. I like to play close range. That's why I prefer this weapon. It's really good at close range. It shreds through people. It's got a decent sized magazine if you got the right mods as well. And there's other options out there, but for me in TU6, the FAMAS 2010 replica is my go-to gun. So let's go into SMGs now. If you guys watch me in the PTS, you know that I've been testing a lot on SMGs, probably more than anything else. Now, there's a few options. There's a swap chain, which is a named weapon, which gives us perfect Allegro. It's very good, but the problem is the base damage for some reason is pretty low, and it doesn't seem to do the same amount as like a TA21 or an MP5. Emmeline's gone. I just got this now. It's got a very big magazine, which is pretty nice, but I don't think I would use this. I don't ever use these guns. I just wanted to bring it up. The MPX, people kept telling me the MPX is the best SMG in the game in TU6. That's completely false. The MP5 is way better. You can just see by the base damage there, and I think this is a good one. They are the same kind of model, so they are very close, but I would always go for the MP5. It just feels a lot better than the MPX, and as you can see, the MPX has less stability. So that alone, you know what I mean, guys, would it would be a thing. But I know the MPX has got a longer range, so the damage drop off is a bit better on the MPX. So it just depends. But like I said, if you're using SMGs, you should be playing up close anyway. This is an interesting gun now. Now the 18.1k base damage of 600 RPM is okay, but I think in TU5, let me just go over this first. In TU5, my go-to SMG was actually the TA21, but it just depends. Nowadays you want more rate of fire, you want to proc certain talents because 600 RPM and 19.1k base damage is very good, and you get a big magazine as well. If you're on console, I would personally use this. If I was a console player, I would use it because if you miss some of your shots, you have a lot of chances because of the low RPM, because each shot actually delivers more damage. So if you think about it that way, this can be a better option for you if you're on console. Like I said, guys, I'm going to show you my best options, but I'm also going to explain what I would do as well because there's so many situations. If you're not too good at aiming and you're on console, this is the best gun to use right now because it just hits like a truck every time you do hit. But because there's no more hip firing, I would personally just stick with what I'm letting you guys know because people can't move as fast as they could previously in TU5 because in TU5 you could hip fire, so it was a bit more tricky. But that's assault rifles and SMGs done. Let's move on to the third one, which is going to be rifles. Now, rifles are something that I love in this game. Personally, the Diamondback is ideal. It's very high base damage, but as you guys know, that is not the one we're going to be going for. This is by far the best rifle in the game for me in TU6. This classic M1A hits like an absolute truck. It has a decently high RPM, a nice magazine size. I think I actually have another one here. Yeah, I have two. I like keeping these. High base damage, decent RPM, and the mag size is ridiculous. I've tried the MK17 in PvP and PvE. It just feels like you just keep hitting harder, and enemies do drop quicker, especially when I was testing the DPS in the base of operations in the test basin. What's it called again? The firing range. Sorry, the firing range. And I was testing it out. For some reason, just took them down way faster. And also, if you pair it with Sadist, it's really good. But this is a very strong rifle. This is my go-to in TU6. And if you guys want the best rifle and you want to feel like using the best, you can use it. Ruthless, I don't have the Merciless yet, but the Merciless is also very good for PvE. But if you, like I said, this is what I use. All these guns I'm telling you are the ones that I use. So the M1A is just the best. I love it. It's my go-to. So LMGs, which LMGs do you guys need to be using in TU6? Now I know what you're going to be thinking. Pestilence, Pestilence, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that is completely true. The Pestilence is, in my opinion, the best LMG in TU6 by far. It's got a decent base damage because it got buffed. The M60 got, I'm not even going to go to M60. Don't use the M60. It's not as good. This just absolutely destroys in the dark zone as well. In PvE, you should be using this. If you're using an M60, you're wasting utility for your team. This has just got such a big buff. 20% bonus armor even while it's holstered. Whenever you're affected by blind, bleed, and burning. And we do know how much that affects us these days because people are running around with stinger highs, myself included. So this is just the best LMG utility, damage, whatever. It might not be the highest damage outputting for the RPM by no means, but the just by the means of the utility from the Plague of the Outcasts and the Pestilence buffs and debuffs, it's just too strong, especially in the Dark Zone. This thing destroys in the DZ. So this is my go-to. Shotguns now. Shotguns are going to be a bit different. If you want kind of like the double barrel with premeditated and rate of fire is the best shotgun, the easiest way to kill someone really quickly with just one or two shots. But I don't like using it. It's too situational. If you miss one shot, you're dead in TU6, especially if you play on PC because people can melt you down so fast. My go-to shotgun, and you guys are going to be surprised, you would be thinking maybe it's the Sweet Dreams because I actually do have it right here. And this is a very good shotgun that I don't use that. I use this. I feel like this is the best shotgun in the game right now. Rock and roll shotgun. I actually made a rock and roll build. This is just insane, guys. You get 50 rounds in your magazine, right? 50 rounds and put Sadist 30% damage. It's just insane, and it's got 300 RPM. You just constantly fight. It's like a machine gun shotgun. It is a machine gun shotgun. That's what I call it. It's just a blast to use. It's really, really good. The damage drop off is pretty bad, if I'm honest, but it's really good if you compare the two. Actually, funny enough, it's better than the double barrel, so you can do it from a longer range. So it's very, very nice. It's way over there. So I really like the shotgun. It's very strong. The massive magazine is the reason why it's so good. You're just constantly firing, and the damage you can do with this is really good in PvE and PvP. So if you're looking for the best shotgun to use in TU6, I would recommend using the rock and roll shotgun. Try and get it. You just got to play the game. Maybe go farm where there's shotguns dropping. I don't know where. Just look at your map. and then go for it. I'm not sure today where there is. We can have a look if you guys want. If you want to farm it, it really is a blast to use, and it's very strong. Just have a look here. Don't think we have shotguns around. Yeah, there we go. Okay, the shotgun's over here. So you just got to farm this mission, Space Administration. So now's the perfect time, guys. If you want to go, put on challenging, run through the mission, and hopefully you can get it. Space Administration HQ. With pistols, I normally use the D50 because it hits quite hard. But if you want to go for max utility from a gun, I would definitely go for the X45. It has a very big magazine. As you can see, stock it comes with 25, and it hits really hard. 30k base damage compared to some of the other ones is actually really high. I haven't tested the new shotgun. It has a very low base damage though. The Liberty is very good for PvE, but the mag size is very small and it's got quite a lot of recoil, to be honest. So I personally always use the X45 if I want big magazine size and high base damage. All right, let's move on to sniper rifles. So sniper rifles, I'm actually bringing out a sniper build probably later today or tomorrow. Be ready for that one. Make sure to click post notifications and do subscribe to the channel when you guys get a chance. Snipers, I personally think using the Nemesis is by far the best in PvE and PvP because you don't need a good build to one-shot someone in PvP and in PvE. You just recharge it, you mark them as your nemesis. Not only can you see them through walls, but you can do. I'm hitting almost 11 million in the head, guys, with the build I'm bringing out soon. I've perfected it for you guys. It's not like, oh, if I could run this or that. It is perfect. I've perfected that build, so look forward to that one. So make sure you have the nemesis. So you need to get it. It's very strong, but I kind of feel like that would be a waste of information for you guys if I just said use a Nemesis, because that's pretty obvious because the Nemesis is just so good. But if you want just a quick firing sniper rifle, I've got some good options for you guys to look at here. So this is the one that I use, is the Hunting M44. I do believe this is the highest base damage in the game. I think I think this one might be able to get a little bit higher, but the way this gun reloads is horrible. I prefer the M44. Look at the reload time, guys. So with this, it's 7.1 seconds. With this, it's 3 seconds, 3.2. It's just better. And look at the damage difference. It's close, but this gun is just the easiest to use. This is the one I always use on my builds. So as you can see, I've already recalibrated one of the talents. So it's just really strong. And if you're wondering what the talent was on this Perfect Ranger, which is pretty cool, farm snipers if you guys want. So the Hunting M44 is really good. There's a few other options that you could go for, but it actually doesn't really matter. But that's just what I like to use. Like I said, it reloads really quick. It has massive amounts of damage, and it's really good. I know the mag size is a bit small, but it really doesn't matter. You can hit crazy strong headshots with this if you put a good scope. So that's it. Those are all my best in slot weapons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember that this is an opinion-based video. It depends. Like the G36 comes very close to my best assault rifle. This was my go-to when I didn't have the Eagle Bearer. I really do enjoy this gun. It hits like a truck. It has high RPM. I just want to have a quick honorable mentions. Invisible Hand. Invisible Hand is really good in this patch. If you guys have it, definitely use it. It's crazy strong. I really do enjoy it. Police M4 is also very good. I've got one here, decent base damage. Carbine 7 is it's still not the most viable gun because of the talents you get with it, but it depends. I mean, this one is a pretty good one, to be fair. 20k base damage with 870 RPM. It's pretty good. I've actually got a Pharmacia. I need to re-roll this one because this is what I'm going to be using next. Extra, and then I'm going to put Strained for my Clutch Berserk build. That's going to make me a lot stronger because that's insane. The base damage, I think, is a hundred more than the last one, so it just depends what you get. Everything else is it's pretty basic. I don't know, guys. Like things like the Tommy gun, I wouldn't bother using them. They just, and this advanced. Look at the damage. It doesn't really work. It depends how you want to play. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys. Culebre. This one's got pre-made. Okay, I don't think that's the one I bought. I bought this one before TU6, and it just doesn't have the name talents. That's a bit annoying, isn't it, guys? But yeah, there's a whole bunch of good guns here. All of them are obviously viable. Like the SVD is one of those guns that I don't like to use personally because I don't like to be out of cover when I'm using a sniper build because I'm always kind of squishy in a way, and You just run out of ammo so fast. I wish we had ammo boxes in this game. But anyways, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. That is, well, my best in class for guns. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Leave a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, boys.